donate a goat, and he has done it.
Thank you. Again, what date was this?
It is barely around 3 months ago.
3 months ago. Now, we have alluded to some forces that were behind, or rather that were not happy with this unity between you and MCAs. I want you to identify and tell us what is happening in the next video, 1D. Kindly, may we play video 1D?
MCA go karibisha ntora ya Bogeta East na mbuge wotwe on behalf ya ntoba Bogeta East na Abogeta West na wenzangu bare haja tucokerie nkatho nontu bwe kinya rire okinya oni mbigirwe ntomba kwethira nteja nontu rire okinya gatia kana kara kamumero kuringithia gagatia ipati yakwa na impuwa kweli imbati kweja kuona nontu ni pati ya maendeleo ndene ntura yetu. So Gavana, we are so humbled to wait to sana. Baatu tole MCA tole MPIDU na ikia tumio kuona na arua tutena mantoa maingi na arua intukwe gukorea kana kamumero na mami umenye baatu tole MPIDU
na ndenda ugire Gavana tukamukaria na inya na ora kumbikika kendo mbako boli trangugi no ndo twamwagia thayo tukona inya ya twamwagitie thayo ateja gaguku na nande mbigirwe torirwe tukaria siasa ne nuje tembokani alimo muntu ondu ukwoja maratasi nande kula ndu bara kamatete ile eta ubirana na mawa na ito abatomera Nairobi gutegera imbie to michukari era itirie bategera imbie to myogoti bukuongerwa gutokwaririo ogoti ingabana bakweja ubira mbesa ikwekiwa senate counties ciongerwa mbesa ibaregere kuongera ndi baliuga ibejete kwa basa ule basa iti mbesa ireko
ututu ni ku Madam Governor na okageta muntu ututu ugira tore no ngato nyongera we ni ntobya mero ala tomba kogera to abwitira ngoge iyo tomba kuchenja as long as Kawira mwangaso ni ntobya mero oni ndekere mbwe mato waambirani isa sawa na
we can post there. We have seen the first speaker, no, actually the second, the one in the black jacket. Are you able to identify him?
Is the mover of the first motion of impeachment, DMK Kiogora.
He is heard making certain remarks about Keberi and forces from Nairobi. What is he talking about?
He is referring to the Meru MPs and also the senator that they should keep off Meru because they have their own leader, maybe referring to the end of state, and then the MCs have their own leader. And he says last weekend they were in a certain town named Maua where they earned the Keberi, the starring stake or spoon, meaning the governor, and they are saying that they will not be part and a parcel of what the members of parliament are doing.
Thank you. So the honorable member for County Assembly, Abogeta West, talks about a force that is being advanced using the Keberi tool. That is what he's saying?
Yes.
And he's telling them to keep off?
Yes.
Thank you. Let us move to video KMV 14. KMV 14, kindly.
Na bakaya batuana na badiri manto yo difference sisi omba kwedirio bature MCA bembe tuteta yari utonye ratio so ende atukuromba tu burungu arembere Gavana na deputy governor bomba kwetwa bajo hata naira nigenda tukomba kutinda weta turi antu amwe turi antu bembe na turi MCA na tongeri bonde brantu badurite na ndi na imani manto yo onde akombekana lakini tutakwenda zaitu akulupia budget siasa kanjiria nigenda mwembe akomba kwetwa ita ya maendeleo so baba kwa na manto akeberi Keberi mwana Keberi naso agreement mwana Keberi naso ketiania manto yembe na rekana yaro e ambe tukongangare kokaria mama non to MPs beto otonku wa yoke gongwa ko mama ende muntu aru mogeni ajo to janganya akili otobo ki akili ato ore mama we are not ready ende ro ko lo bubutu bwe na keberikeu ayate ga dana keberinye ga to ate anajo ko kiran koromba neo iba imenyere lakini okia kweli maendeleo wale tete wale maendeleo ende manto akeberi na ina keberi to ogenda ne mbere yetu embe to atandirete embe ronde kumantonyere mwankados to egento kemwe noro kaingilia atasiarwa
antu bonde bara bakwenda kurwa bare jegembe baberanga mwigembe akugitwa mwigembe akudithwa lakini utinya mwigembe umwe kumara tata nontore mwigembe wongo none tote makota Kawira mwangase nayo antu bara bakuja gutata bakire igembe re kuinyirwa iba kuma inventi bange bakumatigania iba badiorokete sese sekiberi badioroka sese sekegeri badioroka sese seobasai.
Thank you. We can post that video there. Governor confirmed that was on 27th of August this year.
Yes, 27th of August.
This year?
Yes.
Are you able to tell who the people speaking in that video are?
Those are all MCs from Igembe, apart from one who comes from Central Imenti. The rest are Igembe MCs.
They are making a specific grievance about siasa za Kiberi. What are they talking about?
They are talking about the members of parliament who had just begun a movement by the name Kiberi, coming all the way from Nairobi to Meru, and they are warning them that they have been given work to do in Nairobi. They should continue with their work there and leave them alone because they have only one mama who can assist them to do development.
Thank you. So this was 27th of August 2023. Honorable Governor, if then someone comes here and says that you only were able to work with MCAs for a few weeks, are they lying or they're telling the truth?
That is pure lie.
Thank you. We want to understand this Kiberi movement, siasa za Kiberi movement. And I want you to listen carefully to video 3A and see where, or the source, the genesis of the Kiberi movement. 3A. Are you able to even explain what he's saying?
He's talking about that. They will use that thing too. I'm not able to explain. Because it has been done by so many men, and now they are ready as members of parliament, him being the leader, to do that to me. And he has recruited so many young men for the purpose of that Kiberi movement, together with the deputy speaker of this house.
Can we watch KMV 12?
Tumetoseka kutawaliwa vibaya na mkora asiosiwa, anafaa kuongezwa kakoto kwa tumbo na simiti na mawe ndio asisikie njaa tena. Wangapi wanasema Kawira aende? Kawira mbae, lakini tunataka kiti ya mtuma apewe. Kiti yake, deputy yake, magari rudishwe, security apewe, kila kitu apewe, na kiti ya finance, kiti ya pesa apewe. Kwa ndonda ya kebiri. Ndio kuna mkomeno wa ramera arome anga kabira. Kwa hivyo sisi tunaunga mkono hilo mjadala umeletwa na Mheshimiwa Mporo, na asante kwa kunialika. Tuendelee namna hiyo. Kazi yetu ni kushikanisha kila mtu. Asanteni sana ndugu zangu. Thank you very much.
Madam Governor, I hope you are able to explain again, or perhaps the message has sunk, what these honorable members are telling members of the public.
The honorable members of Parliament and the Deputy Speaker of this honorable House is telling the public that I defeated men, and in this case, they are going to use that steering stake and they recruited so many young men for that purpose, and they have been holding rallies almost in all towns in Meru, doing the same over the weekends. Honorable Speaker, I want to say this is purely politics. Purely politics.
Thank you. There is another video, I think that will be my last, 3C on the gender profiling and harassment. 3C.
Mukuru ku ingwendo kuona uliki na tuli America enda ugekana kamurega lakini tuwe kamurega tena kana. Tumekwana boloi anko ndo mwe Kawira mwangaza utendwa leo ukavatia mwana mwenye ukidata. Tumekwana boloi tuenda kuwa kena tutike murega baichu imukuru ku ya mwana nwe ya pronto abori agera mono mbele na kayuyu agwa baile agwa bata tenjamba loi kantenjamba kana ko mtoto la obora masiara ndi kuereka na nchoke mbele na keberio gwa keda kala hekeda Kawira udire hekeda Kawira kukwekeda no ara mera rume Kawira hango nyo yekeda hango ndenda kenda menya wo mwekuru wale mwekuru muchoro kwa etawa mwenda na mulingete ke urenga wayo kiamdaka endukisha ndaka siakwa no mwekuru mukuru.
Thank you. The honorable member is making certain remarks about your husband. What is he saying?
He's saying that he has given me 9 months to be pregnant. And if that is not done, you'll do it via what is holding.
Eventually, Honorable Governor, your deputy joined the movement and made similar attacks on you and on your Kolea program. Can we watch KMV4?
tubatethie twete Tharaka County tubatethie twete Embu County tubatethie twete Isiolo County tubatethie ukorea kirundu kia thina kia pubate kia kuewa itokwenda kinya tukweana hapo sana gidi
Governor.
Pubate program kirundu keke pubate program wetu okolea matwe murungu wake tuetera tutetera muntu nonto kirundu ke anto bembe bekua tuteokenda bekwerwa kirundu ke wikireti makiri bagwa tokolea kabisa yo mathina yaba ya
We can stop there. Thank you. Honorable Governor, that is your Deputy Governor.
Yes.
He's making certain remarks about the Okolea program.
Yes.
What is he saying?
He's saying that the Okolea program is a poverty program. They have refused it in their area, the area that...
Which area is that?
That is Egembe South, where he comes from.
So he's telling members of his ward to reject the...
To reject the poverty program, that is Okolea, and they should not be ready to receive anything in terms of Okolea. And Honorable Speaker, to add to this, for the last 12 years, I've been doing the Okolea, and this gave me favor before God. And my deputy governor, who was just a prison askari, God gave us favor because of this program. And out of the program that raised him from being askari to His Excellency the Deputy Governor of Meru, is the same person that is seen on video, the campaigning or demeaning the same program that God used to give us favor before men and women.
And he continued, and we watch KMV 15. 15. That video was played yesterday, but for your sake, can you explain what the youths are chanting, led by your deputy governor?
That is my deputy governor with some youths from his area saying that Kawira doesn't have a home. She only does prostitution in the county. And they are praising him and warming him up to be the governor or take over the position of the governor of Meru. And that is exactly what has been happening to our members of parliament, including the senator or deputy senator of this house. They have started warming him up to be the governor and take charge because I'm just a woman before them.
Thank you. It got worse by slaughtering of a cow that you had donated. Can we watch KMV 16? Confirm whether that's the same cow you had donated and to whom had you donated them. question. We can stop there. Thank you. Thank you. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I see like the cow is still alive as it's being slaughtered.
Yes.
Was that the cow you had donated?
Yeah, we were in the area of the Igembe South, and then we identified the old woman who was to be given the cow as it was entering into the field. Then they took the cow, slaughtered it just before us.
And they are singing the same song, but they're also making other remarks. What are the other remarks?
Before I say about the other remarks, is that hiyo ng'ombe ilikuwa imebeba ndama ya miezi 6. And then they are saying that the same way they have slaughtered or killed the cow is the same way they will do to Kawira Mwangaza.
Thank you. We can have the video removed from the screen. That has not also been the only thing. You have also been accused of not being a proper Meru. Are you aware of that fact? What? That you have been accused of not being a proper original Meru, therefore unfit to lead?
Yes, they have been accusing me of not being a Merian, but a Kikuyu.
Thank you. Let's first watch KMV 5. You will make those explanations.
Ina ide Kawira Mwangaza aita wajuona kuna vya hivi ina aita mugure hello Kawira Kawira umme wa mego bato tuapa imweko tuapa imwa tuomero umiete nebo tuomero ni tokere ya uwe mwana wao au tupita kabilao.
What is the Honorable Member of Parliament saying in respect to your ethnicity?
He says that the father of Kawira Mwangaza is a Kikuyu from Kirithaine by the name Jogona, and the mother is Mogore from Kikuyu, and they don't want to be ruled by a Kikuyu in Meru. That's why they want to change to get a real Marian, who is Peter Katirau Munya, the first governor.
Thank you, Madam Kawira. Is it then your evidence before this Senate that pressure has been asserted on members of County Assembly to ensure your removal from office on charges that do not hold any water?
Pressure has been mounted to members of County Assembly of Meru by the same leaders, as we have seen, and they had no option apart from adopting an impeachment motion where they were forced to sign and impeach.
Can we watch KMV 11 on the nature of that threat and whether the MCAs indeed succumbed to the pressure?
Na bunduki ila inacho chiando icha kuromba. Baadhi menyato ibia mene ora ugatwira mbazi ni kiraitu. Na ndiro ruri ndo akiraitu na bunduki cia bako rombe teri. Ukarwa na ukarwa soka bunduki ndo ya bunduki. Dore ndo ka umogira bunduki cia cia yundie. Bange ba ibia mene no menya ta aduri yake ama. Okiro jando no menya bunduki ila inacho cia kuromba bati kwa very careful. Ukara.
Is that the same Saul turned Paul, going back to being Saul?
What DMK Kawira is telling the public is that because I was elected as an independent governor, I've been operating with hired guns. And now Mithika Rintori has taken his own, Kiraito has taken his own, so I'm left without any weapon to fight, and I should be very careful because they have withdrawn their support as the leaders of political parties or as the senior most people in their parties.
That is barely 3 weeks after DMK Kawira had been seen dancing, praising you, and saying that he will defend you and will reject any influence from above.
It was like 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Let us watch then 3E.
Ilo tokuwa batu ilo tukiama kia UDA no tudugani. Ku withdraw support utokuete mwagata kwa majority rinda to withdraw. As nini manjo jondo to kuliderate kire ku support kira assembly to kiama. No to withdraw membership betu na bati ku support kaire.
Thank you. Who is the person speaking in that video and what is he saying?
Is the Honorable Senator, Deputy Speaker of this Honorable House, and he's saying that he might withdraw or is ending to withdrawing support of UDA members from being part and parcel of my agenda of development in Meru County.
Was that withdrawal, threat to withdraw, made a reality?
Indeed, after I spoke that, after 3-4 days, it was made a reality.
Let us watch KMV9 on whether that support was actually withdrawn. KMV9.
Must prevail. Number 9, we officially withdraw our support from the governor due to recent events and our proven inability to lead effectively. Our deaf honorable members are instructed not to in any way associate with the governor in person, Honorable Bishop Kawira Mwangaza. Number 10, we express support for the impeachment of Governor Kawira Mwangaza for the best interest of the people of Meru County and commit ourselves without reservation to this cause, which we commence forthwith. Number 11, we support CS Honorable Medical Intourist political leadership and endorse the proposal to make him the county's spokesperson for a unified voice of Meru County. Number 12, we applaud the newfound unity among political leaders except Gavana Kawira Apata for the sake of peace and development.
Thank you. KMV8, I think that is self-explanatory. KMV8. KMV8.
I've been given instructions by our SG, who is Honorable Kanini Kega, that as Jubilee, forthwith, I'm going forward with Jubilee withdraws its support to one Honorable Kawira Apata.
Kabla December tutakuwa na gavana mwingine mpya, kwa sababu hii ni kitu tulianza kitambo na tulianzia hapa. Kwa hivyo tuna vita na wewe gavana kwa hili ya kuonana. Tulikuwa
Those are members of County Assembly, and with them is one member of National Assembly. I think he has spoken in Swahili and English. There is no need to emphasize. Was there a press conference formally by other parties to withdraw their support? And I'm looking at KMV10, and I think that is my last video on this issue of withdrawal. KMV10.
In this county, we have decided forthwith to withdraw the support within and outside the assembly that we have given our governor. Number 3, we have resolved to start a fresh impeachment motion to the governor of Meru, one Honorable Bishop Kawira Apata, and we have already signed, appended our signatures, the 27 of us who form or comprise the Kenya Kwanza caucus in the county assembly in preparation for a fresh impeachment motion.
Thank you.
The one that came last year.
We can stop there. Thank you. Madam Governor, you have seen a series of press conferences by various leaders of county assembly, all seeking to withdraw their support. Were the timings of these press conferences within the same period of time?
It was within the same period of time.
Can you remember the month?
I think it's not more than 2 months ago.
That is the month of September?
Yes.
What do you attribute towards the sudden change of heart from you being their darling, being a performer, being their mother, to now castigating you in the manner they are doing, to the extent of them withdrawing support? Is there anything gross you did to provoke them, to the best of your knowledge?
I did totally nothing. And from the last clip, can hear the mover of the motion saying that around 27 of them have already signed an impeachment that they are proposing to have. So they signed way back even before. That is what he has said. Number 2, the pressure from members of national government, some few elites, leaders, some few leaders of political parties, the deputy speaker of this honorable house, before God, I want to say they are misleading our MCS.
Thank you. Governor, it got to the extent that even in the performance of your official duties, you are threatened and barred from performing that which you are allowed to do under the Constitution. Is that true?
Yes.
Can we watch KMV6 and tell us where you are, what you're doing, and what happened? You can pause there for a minute. We see you clearly there, Honorable Governor, and there is a young gentleman speaking. Tell us what he's saying and what you are doing in that event and exactly where you are.
That is an event done by the county government of Meru. The county assembly passed a budget for us to take care of the disadvantaged mamas in our community. And that program is dubbed as 1 cow per 1 poor family. We go around the villages. We have a committee to vet and see the most vulnerable person in that certain area. We take a cow to the area and give or donate as government to that particular person that has been vetted by a committee that includes the area chief.
Thank you. So this is not part of your Okolea program for clarity purposes?
This is not part of my Okolea program. My Okolea program we usually do on Sunday afternoon, and this is an official duty, a program that has county government employees and done purely by the county government of Meru. 1 cow per 1 poor family.
Was there any commotion or violence in that event?
There was no commotions. We started with the prayers, as you can see, and we went silently, we did not even advertise. Those are just the neighbors that saw what is happening and came just to see.
You confirm this was in the homestead of one of the poor Meru women?
It is in the homestead of the beneficiary.
Thank you. Can we watch that clip again from the beginning all through to the end?
Gavana, Gargani, nazoka na wewe? Kuja tuongee. Ngoja tu tuongee.
Kiangalia hapa hivi.
Tuende pole pole. Wewe watu watoke. Unapata dakika 10 tu peke yake hapa. Watu watoka waende. Mtoke muende.
Unaenda.
Mtoke muende. Hapa tunataka kwanza vita. Mtoke muende.
Amenibebea nini?
So, madam, what there is?
Amenibebea nini?
That is the question. Nimeongea na yeye.
So, Madam Governor, this is an official function of the head of the county. Why are the police disrupting your function?
The same leaders. It doesn't specifically mention the leader that understands him, but now the influence from the national leaders led to this.
So were you able to complete your donation on that day?
I was not able to complete because it was stopped. And then when they said that we leave, we tried to explain. After 3 good hours in that vehicle, when people came, surrounded the vehicles, that is the time the officer said that it was a mistaken identity.
Mistaken identity. But isn't the officer calling you by your title when he comes?
Yes, he's calling me Gavana Kuja. Gavana Kuja.
You actually pleaded with him to allow you to finish.
Kamwambia ngoja nimalize, akasema hapana, we have 10 minutes here, kuja.
And everyone was dispersed.
everyone was dispersed.
That was, if I'm not wrong, a day or two before the impeachment. Can you remember the actual date?
I think a day before impeachment.
A day before impeachment.
And that clip is not complete, counsel.
Yes.
I think we've not heard the officer saying as to why he had come to arrest me.
You can tell us, because you are present, we may not have the benefit of the full video, but kindly, because it is a first-hand experience, tell us the explanation you got from the officer as to why he was seeking to interrupt your official function.
The officer was the area OCS, and then when people came in big numbers, the other bosses came along, and then he was asked to allow me go, and then he also apologized before everyone that it was a mistaken identity, and I forgive him.
Thank you. You have been accused of vilifying leaders. We have seen WhatsApp messages, you making certain utterances on WhatsApp groups, and even in one or two political rallies through the videos that were produced. Number one, have you vilified the leaders in Meru? Have you in any way vilified, demeaned the leaders in Meru?
I have not vilified any leader in Meru.
There was a particular comment you made on Facebook, on WhatsApp group, regarding the deputy governor. And you said, ujinga sita kubali. What were you talking about?
I was talking about him having or gathering young men, going around demeaning the governor and calling me a prostitute.
Was that a fair reaction, considering what we have seen? Was it expected of any human being to react and defend herself in the wake of such attacks?
Honorable Speaker, I'm not an angel. You must have feelings.
Thank you. Let us go briefly to the responses, and I believe you have answered to all the allegations in your notice, in your response that you first alluded to. You have answered, confirm that you have answered.
Yes, I have answered.
Satisfactorily to all the charges.
I have answered.
I want us to look at the first count, misappropriation and misuse of county resources. You came here and you also invited at the county assembly to answer to specific allegations, correct?
Yes.
Those specific allegations in respect to embezzlement and misuse of funds are found at 10A and B. Confirm?
Yes.
Embezzlement is A, withdrawal of county funds is B.
Yes.
Those were the only particulars of the allegations that you are invited to respond to.
These are the only particulars.
So then you could not have responded to anything outside what was framed.
I responded to the particulars or the charges.
Let me read to you. Embezzlement of county funds through the governor's sisters, Rose Kenya, Miriam Gwantai, Kenneth Gwantai, Nefat Kenywa, Edwin Morangeti. We will not go into whether they are your relatives or not, because we did that in another forum. Was there any table of particulars to indicate how much money Rose Kenya received, when they received them, how they have not accounted in A and B, because that is the only place where we see the particulars. Do you see any particular place where you are told Rose received this much, Miriam received this much, Nefat received this much, Kenneth received this much, Edwin received this much. Do you see that in the particulars?
There is no specific way or amount of money that is allocated to every person that the name appears in this accusation.
What instead they did is to throw a bush of infamous extracts and told you to look at those infamies, identify where Rose is, where Miriam is, Kenneth is, Nefat, Edwin. Is that what they did? Just giving you an infamous extract?
Just an infamous extract, to do it by myself, extract maybe the amount of money for Miriam, for Rose, for Kenneth, for Nefat.
Is there any mention in A and B where the amount of 78 million is mentioned to have been, that you are able to respond specifically to what you are facing?
There is nowhere a figure of 78 million is being indicated in this, as for the Miriam, Rose, Wantai, and the rest.
Apart again from the infamous extract.
It is only the infamous extract. Nothing else.
You have also seen the basis of their complaint. It is another complaint by Salesio Mutuma, who tables his own computation and files it with EACC. Is that correct?
Salesio Mutuma is an activist. He files a report to EACC, and the county assembly uses the same report that has been taken to the EACC by Salesio to accuse me of embezzlement of county funds. Nothing else apart from the report by Salesio Mutuma.
So then, even as you're making this response, Madam Governor, it is only out of abundance of caution that you supply the Senate with what you thought was necessary.
Yes.
Did you even have the guide to lead you to where you're supposed to get materials in support of any claim?
No.
None whatsoever?
Yes.
To the best of your knowledge, was there any audit query or report that was generated by a competent body touching on embezzlement of county funds?
No audit report, no other report apart from an infamous report by Salesio Mutuma, an activist, to EACC.
But you have also taken time to explain what you thought the complainants might have been looking for, isn't it?
Yes.
And you have created a schedule that appears in your response. Kindly look at that. Appearing from what page?
105.
105 of our response, the small booklet.
Yes.
So then, the computation you did there, is it conclusive or is it based on what you understood to be the case from the county assembly? Because there were no particulars.
It is not conclusive.
It is not conclusive.
Yes.
The document again that you attached, was there any particular order to which you are preparing those documents, or you are basically looking at the infamous extract and giving what you thought was a suitable answer because there was no particular charge or request for you to look at any specific issue?
I tried my best to look at it so that I can give a feedback.
Thank you. So had you been properly guided by the motion, you would have done a better job in giving them very specific answers to specific queries?
Yes.
Thank you. Let us proceed to the other charge of nepotism. First of all, let me ask you about this gentleman called Nefat Kujijitea, who has been said to be a brother-in-law to you. Do you know Nefat Kujijitea?
No. He's an employee of county government of Meru.
He's an employee of county government of Meru. Is he married to your sister?
None of my sisters. are married.
Your sisters are single. So then Nefat cannot be your brother-in-law.
No.
Edwin Mutuma, is he your nephew? Nephew rather to your husband?
No.
You know very well the relatives, or rather siblings to your husband?
I met him around 4-5 months ago.
That is Edwin?
That is Edwin.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's not, again...
he's not a relative.
He's not a relative. Your husband, and now that Amatit, has been accused of vilifying other leaders through a musical performance. There was a video that was played. For the sake of time, I will not ask for it to be played, but you are also present. I want you to look at the lyrics of that song. And even before you look at the lyrics, you were present.
Yes.
That song, to begin with, was sung in the Kiswahili dialect, true?
Yes.
So there was no need for it to be interpreted.
But Council, it's my prayer that we see the song so that I clear myself from that allegation.
Very well. Can we play? I could be guided where that clip is. Because it was a clip by... As we wait for the song, Madam Governor, we will watch it. But did your husband make reference to any elected leader?
He did not.
Did he make any reference to any other leader by name?
He did not.
What was the first gentleman saying in his song, to the best of your recollection?
That's why...
In fact, we have got the Kiswahili. Just read a few. At page 251 of volume 2 of the County Assembly's document. Very quickly, Madam Governor, I urge you to read. We are pressed for time.
They want, is that from me?
Yes, just read in Swahili.
They want Kawira to come and help them still. Kawira is against it. And when Kawira refuses, they dig...
I would love you to read the Kiswahili version. The song was sung in Kiswahili version. That is the translation. Kindly read the Kiswahili version. This is also a Swahili speaking.
Kila siku wanamtafutia makosa, wanataka Kawira awasaidie kuiba. Kawira akakataa, akasema yeye hataki wizi. Wakati alipokataa, wakasema, wakaanza kumshimbia mashimo. Wanataka Kawira akule pesa, nao wanataka Kawira wakule pesa za barabara. Wanataka Kawira akubali wakule pesa ya dawa hospitali. Wanataka Kawira awasaidie kukula mali yetu. Igembe na waeleze ukweli kabisa, mpaka sasa sikilizeni kwa makini. Wanapanga pia kuchukua maisha ya Kawira. Wanapanga sasa mpaka kumuua Kawira. Lakini najua maombi yenu, huyo shetani ameshindwa katika jina la Yesu. Ati walikuwa wanasema tangu ile wakati ya impeachment ya kwanza, Kawira hajawahi kunywa chai kwa mikahawa ya Nairobi. Mara ya mwisho Kawira kunywa chai mikahawa ya Nairobi ni ile wakati ya impeachment. Na hiyo sasa ndio inafanya maadui wake wakasirike kabisa. Eti wanamtaka Kawira kuliko akuje okolea awe akienda Nairobi kule wakunywe nao chai na meza na pesa zenu. Kawira naye amekataa katakata, akasema kazi yake ni mashinani. Wenye wivu wajinyonge. wenye wivu wajinyonge.
Is there anything demeaning or targeting any leader in those lyrics?
No, nothing. No leader is being targeted or mentioned by name.
Is it true that you're facing a threat to your life, that the first gentleman in a musical performance passed that information?
It is.
Is there anything wrong in that? In your husband coming to your defense when your life is in danger?
He should come and defend the wife.
Thank you. You have been accused of particularly assigning diplomatic duties to your two sisters, unqualified sisters.
Yes.
You have made an explanation to that allegation. Can
Yes.
you point out where that response is?
It's in page 10.
As we peruse through, Mr. Speaker, sir,
It's page 15.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I note that my time is up. I'm seeking your indulgence for just 30 more minutes for me to wind up.
You need an extra 30 minutes?
Yes, indeed. Most humbly, Mr. Speaker, sir.
I can proceed.
Thank you. Tell us the response you have offered to the allegation that you assigned your two sisters diplomatic duties.
I was invited, courtesy call to embassy in Nairobi, that is Slovakian. While on my way, I was diverted to attend a function at the State House. I can explain without lending.
Yes, kindly proceed.
On my way, I was accompanied by the County Secretary of Meru, my personal assistant, my bodyguard, and my driver. And then on the way, there was an urgent meeting. I decided to attend the meeting first so that I can join the other team later. The county secretary joined, went to the embassy. As I was finishing from the State House, they had already done with the meeting. Okay. So I did not assign my sister any duty. It is just because I had traveled with my personal assistant and also the bodyguard to attend the meeting.
Did you later offer an explanation as to who attended that meeting and what was discussed in your Facebook at page 94?
Yes.
You confirm that the person that attended that meeting and presided and had discussions was the county secretary?
Yes.
Thank you. Let us go to the China trip that you have been accused of sending your sisters and relatives to a tour. You got an invitation from a company?
Yes, to China.
To China.
Yes.
Did that company represent itself as having affiliations with the Chinese government, to the best of your understanding?
Yes, at first, in the first case, it associated itself with the national or the country of China.
The state of China.
Yes.
You had planned initially to attend that trip. Is that the position?
Yes, I am planned to attend.
But before that, tell us, how often do you travel outside the country as the governor of Meru? How many trips have you had outside the country from the date you were sworn in as the governor?
I've only traveled once.
To which country?
South Korea.
When was that?
Around 6 months ago.
What was the practice when you traveled? How do you travel? Do you travel with your team together? Do they travel in advance? What happened during your last trip to South Korea?
For this specific one, I sent my personal assistant, my bodyguard, and the team in advance. And then I met them there later.
Okay.
Yes.
Why did you send them in advance?
For preparations and also to know exactly what I'm supposed to do and arrange everything before I get there.
Okay. Was that the case with the China trip?
Yes, it was the case.
So who traveled to China and for what purpose did they travel?
Those who travel to China are 4 people. One is the Waziri for Health.
Yes.
And then is the external leakages acting director, my personal assistant, and my bodyguard.
Did you eventually travel to China?
No, I didn't.
You did not?
Yes.
Why didn't you travel to China?
When my advance team arrived to China, it was contrary to what the Chinese people and the brokers. The message that was given to our office was different because the private company or the people that came to visit Meru associated themselves with the Chinese government. And upon arrival of my team there, it was contrary to what they said. It was just a private business company interested in investing in Meru.
So the assertion that this was an opportunity for a cancer center to be established in Meru by well-wishers through a private public partnership, is that the position?
Isn't the position. If at all it was a donor donating even a single item, I could be the first one to get there. But it was purely a business company interested in doing business in Meru.
You have read the affidavit of your CCM, George Gekunda.
Yes.
He explains clearly that they even discovered that the people who had invited you did not even have a physical office in China.
Yes, I've read it.
That they took them through various companies that manufacture items.
Yes.
They could not prove that they have any affiliation with any of those companies.
They did not have any.
Was it then safe for you to proceed to China with that information having been availed to you?
To me, it was a waste of time, even though the company was offering full sponsorship. But now, going to China just because of assisting some people to come and do business in Meru, it wasn't a priority to me.
Thank you. You have been questioned why the CEC or yourself did not seek any visa clearance to China. Do you have a Chinese visa?
Yes.
Yes, you do. So there was no need for you then, for the CS to ask for a visa to be provided. You already had one.
No.
Thank you. The deputy governor, has also accused you of arbitrarily relocating his office from next to your office to another block, changing the locks. Let me just read specifically. Number one, he's accusing you of arbitrary reduction suspension and withdrawal of budgetary facilitation. Were you in any way involved in reduction and withdrawal of his budgetary facilitation?
No, and I cannot do that. In our office, we have AIU holder who used to be the chief of staff, and he does, via other officers, facilitation to our travels, facilitation to our offices, and it has been done according to the way I know things.
In fact, yesterday during cross-examination, it was discovered that one Nafasi Kenya received a lot of facilitation on behalf of the deputy governor. Is Nafasi Kenya an administrator in the office of the deputy governor?
Yes, it is the deputy governor himself that suggested that Nafasi Kenya to be the administrator in his office.
Thank you. You have been accused of threatening the deputy governor to inflict bodily harm against the governor. And this is in reference to one of the WhatsApp group that you said, nitafinya kieleweke. You remember that WhatsApp group, WhatsApp post?
Yes.
What were you talking about when you said, nitafinya kieleweke? You were also accused, to combine with that, of mobilizing jeshi ya kumaliza deputy governor. What were you referring to when you said choma jeshi?
Specifically, council, I would like to see where exactly I have referred the kufinya kieleweke or the jeshi to my deputy governor.
So you deny making that particular
The allegation is that it's to the deputy governor.
Yes.
Where exactly have I referred to my deputy governor?
Thank you. Who then were you referring to, or what was the context?
I was referring to the kind of things going around in Meru County, the type of bullying that is going around. Of course, as a leader, you have to respond to some of the issues that goes around. Kufinya kieleweke, what's wrong with that?
Thank you. So you were not making any reference to
I was not making any reference to any particular person.
You have also been accused of forcefully breaking, entering and ransacking
is a criminal. Or the relevant authorities for doing such an act. I've never done that.
Thank you. Arbitrary relocation of the deputy governor's office. Is it true that there were reorganizational issues in the office of the governor that saw certain offices moved from one location to the other?
Yes, there was reorganization after we earned a big team of acting chief officers. In Meru, we have two blocks, the old block and the new one. And then the old block that has been used by the first governor, Kiraito Moronge, and partly by Honorable His Excellency Peter Munya. And that is where the deputy governor was reallocated to stay.
Thank you. Let us move on to the issue of accusing other leaders of being the 10 cartels in Meru in an event where the head of state was in attendance. Were you referring to the members of parliament? Because that is what was said yesterday.
Council, why would one suggest that I was referring to anyone when I've not mentioned one?
Who were you talking about when you said kuna makatel zaidi ya 10?
There's a certain story in Kimeru, maybe to take 1 minute to explain. One person, thieves broke to his home, stole his own goat, and then there was a chief's meeting with everyone in that village. And that old man akaenda amebeba mkuki. Akasema ya kwamba katikati yenu ninaona kuna mtu ambaye ameiba ile mbuzi yangu. Just in 1 meter I will kill that person. Hakujua ni nani. Mtu mmoja akachomoka tu mara moja akaenda. That's when now the man realized who the person was. In my case, when I talked about Makatel, I not mention anyone. I said this county will not be micromanaged by few cartels or 10 cartels and few rich people to assume that Meru is the way they want to paint it bad.
Thank you.
I did not mention anyone.
You did not mention anyone. That's
Yes.
quite important. There are these WhatsApp groups in Meru, County Admin Services, Third Government 012. Are you the admin of these groups?
I'm not. I was added in that group.
You are added in that
Yes.
group. Is it an official WhatsApp group in Meru?
No, we don't have an official WhatsApp group in Meru County.
Did you at any moment incite or encourage any admin to remove the deputy